Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about the entire crypto market. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, overall, it's happening, guys. We're going to be talking about what it is, and we are going to be talking about why it is so important to continue to watch it. So, with this in mind, I just want to ask, how is everybody's day going? How has everybody's week been so far? Guys, it's only 2 more days until Friday. Friday is the key for all of us. It's going to be a great weekend ahead. I hope everybody has been having a great time, though, nonetheless. Right now, currently, I have been watching the market closely. I've been addressing Bitcoin and a few things. But the number one factor that I have been telling you guys to watch for is the US dollar. And today, we did see a rejection on the US dollar. We are coming down to test that 10-day EMA closely. This has been something I have been watching for closely. I've been saying, we are at around the local topping point for the dollar. If we don't get a significant bounce off of that 10-day EMA, which we have been holding fairly strong since going back as far as April 4th, then guess what happens, guys? We test some pretty nice lows. Now, ultimately, I am watching for the 702 break, that 702, or actually it's the 786, sorry. The 786 break, which is that fib level at the bottom of that structure around the 10-day EMA. After that, we do target the 702. Now, with this in mind, it does allow for Bitcoin to have that nice price movement. We are breaking down below the moving average currently on the RSI. First time that we've been actually down below it since going back as far as March. At around this time, we did see Bitcoin kind of making some nice strides. I am going to be watching I would say I'm going to be watching the dollar for, this week until around Friday, because that's when, indices and, of course, the dollar do kind of freeze out. But when we do talk about indices as well, in terms of the dollar, the indices haven't been rallying too much today. We will most likely see this change a little bit. Let me make sure that this is a refresh. So these have been sitting stable. Which, is not a big surprise to me. Like, when we look at a lot of the things happening within this market, and actually let me go to the major indices here so that you guys can actually really see this. So you guys have it. We're just, sitting stable at this current moment. The Dow Jones is up about 250 points, which is pretty good. We have been seeing a lot of stocks kind of having, some volatile price moves, like even Netflix and things like that. But in terms of the dollar, in terms of the, Dow Jones itself, because the Dow Jones is like the key player here to really kind of address, things are looking pretty good for Bitcoin to continue this nice upward, move. But the issue right now that I'm seeing on Bitcoin, and you guys could probably see it right now, is that resistance at the 50-day EMA, 42.1K. We need a significant break back above that. Why? Well, because if we look back here, a significant break above the 50-day EMA puts us in line for that nice price movement. In fact, back here we tested the 50-day EMA closely multiple times, and now it is playing as major resistance. So please pay attention to the 50-day EMA. By the way, every single time that we have broken down below the 50-day EMA, as you guys do see, major volatile moves downward have followed up. So if we could turn the 50-day EMA into support, we will most likely test some highs. My next major target point after that is, of course, the 200-day EMA at about 44.3K, which will also be, coincidentally, a significant break over the 382, which would put us in line for that October timeframe move, similar to what I've been telling you guys for a while now. So I am watching Bitcoin and the US dollar very closely, especially as we do kind of address a few altcoins. Now let's actually address a few altcoins, because I know that a lot of you probably hate waiting until the end of the video. Now I'm going to be talking about these four, and then I'm going to be addressing a few things within the altcoin market. So let's actually go to the weekly view here. Obviously, altcoins are having a little bit of a sad day, simply because Bitcoin dominance is kind of rising while Bitcoin kind of sits stable. But it looks like this week is going to get a little bit juicy for us if we do see the dollar continue that, downward price move. Now, On the weekly, you guys see it clear on XRP, right? XRP is printing a little bit of a better picture for alts currently, where we do see, a low, followed by a higher low, followed by a higher low, followed by most likely a higher low at around roughly the point that we are at now. If we do continue this nice upward path, it's going to be a slow grind to, those levels, but we will eventually break out of that 236 level, which in terms of a lot of our altcoins, I have been addressing the fact that, our alts are at major resistance levels currently in between, a pretty rough sort of slide, which is, again, that bearish sort of momentum in terms of the support zones being targeted, most likely being, sort of close to a breakdown point. But it's just kind of just awaiting for altcoins to have that breakout event, which is going to be, Bitcoin going on this next major move. Without Bitcoin going on this next major move, altcoins are not going to have a significant alt season. We need a Bitcoin season before we have an altcoin season, aka massive amounts of money flowing from Bitcoin into our large caps, mid caps, and even low cap gems. Now, Zilliqa has been showing some signs of strength, but ultimately is being hit with resistance at around the 382. But we do see some buy volume flowing into this. I don't think Zilliqa is done at all for this year, but I am waiting for, some overall test of some lows, maybe possibly the 50-day EMA here at about 9.5 cents. Again, a lot of altcoins are hitting resistance, and Zilliqa is one that is also hitting resistance. If we could break out, that's going to be pretty significant, but for the most part, I'm not watching altcoins closely. Hbar is one that's really kind of putting you guys that bearish picture where we are sort of just trading sideways in this, sort of bearish momentum against resistance and that bottom support figure, which is not even, major support, by the way. It's just where our candle wicks have hit off of multiple times in the past. Honestly, we need some significant volume here, or we will continue this downside move. QNT, also kind of putting us a little bit of a bearish picture. We did come down and retest my level perfectly, though, just recently. But I'm still going to be watching this to see if there is going to be more downside potential here, because it looks like in terms of, volume, it has been diminishing greatly since going back as far as, February. So a lot of these altcoins are not getting, much volume right now and much attention, but this is, again, in part because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the main showstopper right now. I have been addressing this in terms of Bitcoin dominance as well. Bitcoin dominance is kind of just waiting for that breakout event, currently against that 10-day and also even 20-day EMA. If we could break above that, that's going to be a pretty significant move. But this will most likely lead us to about 45 to 47%, or even possibly just a retest of the 50-day EMA at about 45% itself. So I am watching this closely because this will lead us to that next major impulse on Bitcoin when we do see it. Again, I'm waiting for resistance to be broken here. My target on Bitcoin is ultimately, 44K to see if we can clean break above that fib level, but also even above the 200-day EMA. Now, also, as we are watching, things like this, though, let's address altcoins quickly. So in terms of the altcoin market, I have been addressing the altcoin market cap closely. Why? Well, because look at the current level that we are at. Again, we are hitting resistance at about the 200-day EMA, which is nothing too crazy. In fact, this kind of takes me back a little bit to the summertime, where we were kind of in this nice sideways momentum against the 200-day EMA before we did eventually break out of it, going on that nice surge all the way to around September. Now, currently, if we look at the RSI is sitting at the same point that it was sitting at during September, October. So if we can see a significant break here above the 200-day EMA, we could go on a nice rally similar to the October timeframe, or even similar to the summertime timeframe, which again are significant price moves, because even going off of those lows, right? So we have some lows here, this candle wick from the 18th recently. If we go off of some of these lows back here, I would say like more so going off of the low from the major wicks in May. If we go to the topping point here, this is like a 150% rally on the altcoin market cap. And again, if we kind of go off of even the bottom structure that we currently are really looking at in terms of that October timeframe, this is about a 68% of an increase in price. So, either rally would be something significant. We can kind of go off of even our February lows if you wanted to, which is like sort of the macro view anyways. A 68% rally wouldn't really kind of bring too much price movement. It would bring us to about like $1.4 trillion, which is almost testing the same resistance zone going back to September. If we did do this rally, it will most likely be a retest of the 618 at about 1.28 trillion, followed by that next major rally up. Now, if we do that 150% rally run, that would bring us to about over $2 trillion in terms of the total market cap value for altcoins. But I have been watching these patterns closely because if we do see any sort of price move like that, it will cause altcoins to really kind of surge in value. I always said, though, I'm still targeting some high, figures for the altcoin market cap. I think that, we are going to see a lot more money flows into this market than most people are really kind of addressing. That's why I've always said, prepare to see some high figure targets for the altcoin market cap in terms of market cap valuation, meaning like, we're talking about like almost $5 to $7 trillion. So, definitely pay attention to that. In terms of the altcoin dominance, right, compared to Bitcoin, like I said, with Bitcoin dominance kind of ranging here, I am watching the altcoin dominance charts. This looks like it is against resistance on the RSI in terms of the moving average, trading sideways here until that breakout event. Again, if this could rally again to that 20+% zone, which we've never really seen, were pretty significant. But the last time that we've seen almost close to 20% was during the December timeframe. Well, it's actually like the January timeframe, which was after Ethereum kind of topped out. If we could see these figures yet again, it would most likely lead us to a nice rally off of those, summer or January 2021 lows, which will lead us to around the summer highs. So this would be pretty significant. It will push us well above 20+%. This is where we will see, altcoins really gaining some momentum over the market. This is also where we'll most likely see Bitcoin kind of dropping in value, meaning altcoins will kind of be taking the wheel. But 20+% definitely is my target point. We closely, got close to about like roughly 0.5% away from 20+%. But I have been watching this one closely because, we are still riding that 200-day EMA. I know that we've peaked down below it multiple times, but for the most part, since going back to January 2021, we have not broken down significantly from the 200-day EMA, which tells us, hey, altcoins are still in, the spotlight. I think that altcoins right now are showing a lot of strength opposed to Bitcoin. Of course, a few of their, altcoin charts are looking rough, like, Hbar and QNT, but some of them are showing some strength. Right now, again, this entire market is at a resistance standpoint, where we are kind of just waiting for the next major, stepping stone in the market. But the dollar definitely is, I would say that this is going to be the leading factor here. If the dollar can continue this, bearish divergence where we are seeing that major crossing point on the RSI and moving average, then this is going to lead us to a nice impulse on Bitcoin, which will most likely lead us to a nice impulse on altcoins as well. So again, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.